Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and this is Grassroots NASCAR Racing. Now today I'm going to take you on a little walk around and deep dive of the Mark Stahl Hooters Thunderbird. I haven't really touched the car since it's got here. I've just kind of poked my head in it a little bit, tried to figure out what rear gear was in it, but I haven't really looked into it too much. I haven't really dug in. So I thought I'd take you along with me today and we'll do that process. It's actually not too bad of a day today. It's like 4 p.m. right now. I love Texas. It's a great state for a lot of reasons, but the heat blows. It is horrible. Really, for like 6 months of the year, I can't work in this shop unless it's starting at like 11 p.m. So all the videos that you've seen from the last couple months that I've put up where I've been in the shop, those are always shot at night, starting at like 11 till 2 in the morning. That's the only time I can work out there, and even then I'm dripping sweat constantly. So today, it's the beginning of September. We're kind of coming out of the season known as Hell's Front Porch. We're coming into false fall. This is the week where we get a few days that are highs in the low 90s, maybe the high 80s even. We get a couple days like this where it's slightly bearable to be outside. And then we'll get a few more weeks of second summer where it's hot as hell again. And then at the end of September, beginning of October, we'll actually get fall. That's when temperatures start coming down a little bit and it's bearable to be outside. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've made it through most of summer, thank God. I can work in the shop again. It's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to the next few months where we're going to get a lot of work done. But let's get into the shop and take a look at this car here. So I've got it in here. I've already got it up on jack stands and all the wheels off so we can look around at it. But it is a beautiful car. I do love this thing. There's a few things that I've already kind of noticed that I'm trying to figure out. So I've actually talked to Mark on the phone. I was able to get a hold of him, talk to him on the phone just a little bit, actually before I even got the car. Before I had even bought this car, I was able to get a hold of him and talk to him on the phone a little bit, just ask him like, hey, there's this car that's for sale out there. They're saying it's one of yours. Is it? Is it one of yours? And he says, yes, that is one of my cars. He was a real great guy to talk to. I'm still texting him and stuff, and I'm gonna talk to him some more, but I wanted to be sure before I bought this. So he says it is one of his cars. Now there are a few things that I'm trying to figure out because if you know, Mark Stahl had the Hooters sponsorship in 1990. Well, this car, obviously, if you look at the pictures of his car from that time period and you look at this car, there are differences. The Hooters is way too small. The contingency decals aren't correct. You know, they're missing some, they're missing some. So it's like somebody redid this to look like his car. Another thing is this. It's got roof flaps. Roof flaps weren't put on cars until what, like 94? So that doesn't really add up. This nose, to me, this looks like a newer nose. This doesn't look like a 90 to me, but correct me if I'm wrong. Some of you guys out there can help me really pin this stuff down. But so there's a few things that are just kind of like, what? I mean, you know, I'm just not really sure. And also I've been finding blue, some dark blue. So if you look right here, see how there's a little bit of blue right there? But I don't know if this window is original to his stuff. You can see where it's got some holes in here. So it had maybe a rail like this coming down at one point. You can see how dusty it is. I haven't cleaned it. The front windshield I know is not original because on the front windshield I found this. It says number 12, 7/1997. So that's not original. And then I also noticed on these, the cowling pieces underneath, let's see if I can show you. See how they're blue? So there's definitely a few things. And down here there's a little dent that I can show you. So see, there's just a little bit of damage right down here. But again, see the dark blue right there? And then there's this light blue right here. I don't know what that is either. That almost reminds me of like a Hillig Myers or something. So yeah, there's some things I need to figure out about this car. It's a little bit of a mystery. I'm gonna dig into that more and I'll let you know as I find stuff out. But today, all we're doing is just going through it and seeing, you know, what we can find. If we can find any weird things like this that help us figure out the history of this car. And let us know what this car has, what it's ready for. Now this car was vintage raced for a while. I have the logbooks. It's still got stickers on it up here. So these are from 2012, 2009, 2012. There's a few stickers here and there. So it was vintage race. So it, from what I've seen, it is set up very well to do vintage racing. This is a 358 cubic inch C3 race engine, which is really cool. It sounds great. I've had it started up. Let me get this flashlight. It does have, I don't know if you can see down there. Let me go under here. So see, it's got an SVO block. And then you can see it says Ford SVO over here, right there. So it's a nice engine and it does sound great. I really want to get this thing out and test drive it. But the only place that I have to test drive it is on the city streets right here. So there is a place north of here, about an hour north of here, that I'm going to talk to them. They just opened up this little road course where you can rent cars that they have and run some laps on their track. It's very expensive, but they do let you bring your own car. So I need to talk to them and find out how much it is to bring my own car and see if maybe I can get up there and run a few laps. So anyway, I guess we'll start here since we're looking in here. Now, compared to some of my other cars, like I said, this is set up for racing. I mean, look at the brake ducts. You've got two on each side, bringing in fresh air, coming around right to the brakes. So that is nice. Very nice. And I was looking at this, like, I don't know that I've had a car that has these. These are like adjustable A-arms. Look at that. That's really cool. What's it say there? Pole position racing and rod products. I think that's what it says. So yeah, nice adjustability there, adjustability here. I haven't found, there's no numbers here. The only number I found is on the inside, and I'll show that to you later. But it is nice. Come down here. It's got some Willwood brakes. These look like pretty old brakes. I mean, look at that. But they are nice. Looks like you got, most of them have a wheel spacer. But the brakes look to be in good condition. Everything looks in pretty good shape. You know, there's a little surface rust, but that's no big deal. There's no like real rust, which is great. It is nice. Penske shocks, look at that. I don't know if any of you can tell me what those numbers and letters mean. I don't know. A lot of times you can tell a race engine from a show car engine by if the valve covers have these oilers going to them. Like my mellow yellow car, my 1991, it does not have these. I just have plain valve covers because it's just a 350 crate engine. It's not a race engine. So I don't have oilers like this. That's kind of cool. I was looking at these coils. Now this is the first Ford engine that I've had. Everything else that I've had has a Chevy engine in it. This is the first Ford. So it's new to me looking around it. I don't know too much. So if you guys know anything about this and want to spit out some facts and details, share with the classroom, comment down below, let us know. I was looking at this though, with the coils up here. Mine have always been inside the car. I love this clip, like the way that this attaches. You can just pull that off, click, and just click it on that one. Which is pretty cool. All of mine, like I said, have been inside the car, and you'd have to, they're just held on with a, you know, like a nut. What does that say right there? Can you guys see that? Interesting. Now that steering box says Roush 99. It says new 4 of 96. So it seems like maybe this car got put together like around that time, because a lot of the stuff, there's other things around here that have dates from like the mid to late 90s like that. So it seems like that might be when this car was kind of thrown together. Got your oil cooler up here. There's no screening on the back to protect it from rocks. That's not too big of a deal. Got your brake ducts again coming down to the front over here. Same adjustable parts on this side. I haven't opened up these yet to see if there's anything in them. I'm willing to bet that there is, though. It's got an electric fan, that's good. I like that. So let's dive inside here. Check out the interior. Got a pretty nice butler seat. It's not too hard to get in and out of. I got in and out of it once. Even with my bad back, I was able to get in and out. I was a little worried. Got a mirror there. It does look like it had, you can see holes here where maybe it had, you know, like a NACA duct right here or something shooting air in. So I'm gonna take this off, put it in the seat. Let's look down here. That's cool. It's got a footrest there for your left foot. Look at that. Look at that gas pedal. That reminds me of like the one that was in our Volkswagen bus or something like that. Not very racy, but I guess it gets the job done. Now you see the hose there on the left-hand side? I'm guessing if we follow that up, let's see. I'm guessing it comes to this. So as air comes in across the car, goes in there. Let's see. Yep, there it is right there. So that drops down and then feeds kind of along the door to your feet. So you get some fresh air at your feet. That's good. You got helmet fan. Ignition, radiator. I love this sticker. That's a great sticker. Now these are some older gauges. They're not like what's in some of my, like my Kyle Petty car or the Sunoco car. These are definitely a little older, but still very cool. Do like it. I love the shift knob. That shift knob is so cool. I've seen a couple of those before. I've never had a car that has one like this, but I've seen them before. I was at a swap meet about 8 years ago here in Texas, and a guy had one of those. He had one of those that was on the lever, and he said that he was friends with Terry Labonte and that was a shift knob out of Terry Labonte's car. And to this day, I regret not buying it. He wanted like $100 and I should have bought it. It's one of those things that I regret, and I'll probably never get another chance, so that sucks. But looking inside here, it does look like it still has all of its radio stuff. So if you look up top, we got the connection right there. And it is connected with the wire still there. That would come down to here. You got your box for the radio. It looks like you got a couple antennas inside there. The wiring comes down to here. You got a couple connections, and then you got your push to talk, which would go into the steering wheel. And I think, where is it? Yeah, there's your cable right there for your helmet. That goes around the back side. So yeah, it's well equipped. There's your fire. You do have this little one here, but you've got the fire bottle underneath there. And I did notice one up underneath the hood. I think that was, yeah, I'll look up under there again. I think there was one up underneath the hood. You got these with your built-in rev control. What rev do we have? 8,200, nice. And 8,400 on that one. That's cool. Now nothing fancy in the rear view mirror department. That's just like a basic rear view mirror out of a car from that time period. That's what my Mellow Yellow car had at the time too, and I've looked at pictures of like Kyle Petty's cars from that time, and it is just a basic mirror like that from a car from that time period. They didn't do anything fancy. Let me see. Here's the window net. Let's get this up and out of here. Let's look down here real quick. You guys know what that is? You see that? That lever? Looks like it says Tilton on it. I have no idea what that is. What is that? I don't think there's any... Yeah, I don't feel like any tubes or hoses going to that. Do you guys know what that is? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. You guys see what I'm talking about? See how I'm dripping sweat already? It's been what? 17 minutes since I started this video. Sweating my ass off already. I'm so ready for winter. And this is another thing that you'll notice, a difference between show cars and race cars. Show cars will just have this window riveted in. You can't take it out. But race cars, you can just twist these, pop this out, and that lets you get to your oil tank right there. Let's look over here. We got our boom tube. I like that. Let's see. So that's where our battery is. It has a date of 5/09 on it. I hope the battery's newer than that. Again, we can take that off sometime and see if there's anything in there. You got JFZ brakes in the back, which if I remember right, Willwood bought JFZ. Is that right? I think that's right. But get my flashlight and show you down here. There you go. So there's another difference. Race cars have all that. Keep that rear end cool. Cycle that fluid. It's a little dusty under there still. That's the thing, this car was so, it sat for a little while, so it got dusty. So I did go underneath here and clean. I cleaned this just a little bit, got some of the dust off. I was trying to see if the rear end had a marking on it to where I could tell what gear was in this thing, but I couldn't find one. So, and again, this window, you can see it used to have something running along right there, but somebody put that one on. Let's look under here. Push that with the camera. All right, nice fuel cell, probably a 22 gallon. Looks a little older with this, you know, the newer ones, they kind of look a little different than this. This one has a time period look to it. Once you've seen enough of those, you can kind of notice that. But yeah, pretty basic setup. Your overflow hose going up and around to there. What does that say? Richardson Racing Products, Prod Inc. I don't know. Richardson Racing. So this is actually the oil tank here. This car has it in the back. And down here, that's your extension cord to plug it in. I think it comes out under here. All right, yep, there it is. So if you want to plug into the oil tank, that's how you do it. So, not bad. I love it. It's, you know, it's got some older pieces like that, and having it in the back, that's a little different, which is kind of cool. It's definitely racy. I think it's ready to get on the track. So see, I marked here. I marked the wheel here, and then I marked the drive shaft right there, and spun this. And I'm guessing it was somewhere right around a 4, maybe a 410 or 390, something like that. But it was right around there. So I think that's what this has. You can see all these are safety wired, which is good. Penske shocks in the back again. It does look like right there. See, you can see maybe a weight right there. So I think this does have some weights installed. Pretty cool. This one does have 2 seats, which is neat. I've never owned a car with 2 seats like this. So I do have the dry brake. So this came with it. See the blue? More blue paint. Look at that. I don't think there's any writing on this one. Let's see. No, I don't see any writing on this one. A lot of times the teams will mark these. But yeah, so that should go right there. But they changed the setup on it to where they could just undo the cap and fuel it from that way. Make it a little easier. Let's see, where are these going to? We got one. So one of them goes, one of them just goes to right there. There's nothing there. I'd assume another one goes to that. Would be my guess. Let's see, yeah. So one of them does go down to that. Let's stick the camera down here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So that gets air from the driver's side over there. And then that feeds that cooler right there. There's our fire bottle. And you got some kind of a blower right there, almost like a helmet blower or something. That's pretty neat right there. It does have a brake light back there. And this is the only number that's on the chassis that I know of. I don't know if you can see right there. What is it, 3579? 3679? Oh my gosh, even my eyes are getting old. I'm gonna have to get some readers or something. I haven't taken the seat out to see if there's anything on this crossbar, but I think that's the only one. But eventually I'll take this out just to confirm. But yeah, this one has a hose maybe coming off that blower, and it comes down here to the passenger. You can see it down below there. These cars are so cool, just the way they're built. I love these cars so much, especially this time period, you know? The way that they're shaped, all the different makers that they had back then, you know? These Thunderbirds, the Grand Prix, like this. They just had that little certain je ne sais quoi, shall we say, or in American, a badassness. These cars are freaking awesome. The early 90s, to me, the cars were just so cool because they still pretty much looked like what they were supposed to look like. They were just starting that switch into like full out, you know, custom built race car. But they still had a few factory parts left on them. Like most of them that is the last factory part that was used, was the deck lids. Those were still a factory piece. And then eventually they got away from that too. But it's almost like, I feel like I love World War II planes. World War II to me was I don't know. Like, war before World War II was just brutal. You know, people lining up in lines and just shooting at each other. Stuff like that. It was just ridiculous. They didn't have the best weapons. It was very brutal. But World War II was kind of that time period where technology was just coming into it. You were finally getting these planes, you know, the Mustang and the Spitfire and stuff like that, and the B-17. You were getting these planes that were actually good fighting planes, but they weren't real technological yet. But they were just, you know, it took a real pilot, a real person to manhandle it and to make it fly right and to do great things with it. And I feel like that's what these cars were. They were that time period to me, where technology was just starting to kind of come into it. Aero was just kind of starting to come into it, but they're still such a basic car, you know, and it took a really good driver to push these things and to do well with them. They're just incredible cars. So that's why I love having them. I'm so blessed that I get to own these things and do this and share them with you guys. It's what I love to do, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. So let's get under here for just a sec. Where did my light go? There it is. Hello, it's right there. Walk around here. Now this one does have some body issues. That's about the biggest thing, is it's got body issues. Hey, you're not supposed to look over there yet. Don't look at that. Don't look. That's a secret. That's a whole nother project I'm working on. Don't worry about that. But notice, like, it's got some cracks. You can see it's got some cracks kind of just all over the body. The front here is pretty cracked. I don't know if that was just from being in the like Arizona climate or something like that, but it's just got cracks kind of all over. Now it's nothing that would prevent you from getting on the track, but it's just got cracks. So it's what I'm thinking of doing that with this car. I'm gonna have to correct this. So this whole car is probably gonna have to get sanded down, unfortunately, to where a lot of these cracks can be fixed. So that's gonna kind of suck. But when it's done, it's gonna be awesome. Let's look underneath here real quick. All right. Yeah, nothing too fancy. It's a race car. You got your cool exhaust. The collector's right there. These are labeled R1, R3, R2. Quartermaster starter right there. There's your oil pan with your oil lines. Nice little hook there for me to hook onto. It's in the trailer. Again, just some surface rust, nothing big. Just need to clean it up a little bit. But everything looks pretty good under here. No real leaks. There's just a tiny bit of dampness there, but there's no spots. That's good. I believe that's a Jericho. I see a tag right there. Let me see. Oh no, Tex Racing. Interesting. Oh, well, it says Jericho. Okay. So it is a Jericho. Yeah, it says Jericho back there too. Right on that. Probably can't see it though. Nice. Let's get under and look at the back real quick. Oh my gosh. My back. Oh. Oh man. Take care of your bodies, guys. Getting old sucks. And I know some of you watching this, you know, if I look at the who watches my videos, probably 60% of you are 40 years and older. So it's guys like me and older that watch this period of time, you know, these cars. So I know you guys feel me out there. Some of you guys commented on my last video where I was talking about my back, and you gave me some good advice. There's things that I'm looking into and things that I'm working on to try and get rid of this crap. I'm so tired of it. But let's lay down here. Yes, I'm making noises. So there's the rear end. You see that that belt that they zip tied into the loop there? Why did they put that belt? I've heard in the past why they did that, and I forgot. I do not remember. So if you guys know why that belt is in there, comment down below and let me know. That just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Nothing too bad. It's all just dusty. Dusty with the little surface rust. So if we clean this up, shoot a little paint, clean up that surface rust, shoot a little paint, this thing is gonna end up looking really good. I'm excited. Oh, oh yeah. Interesting. All right, let's get up again. Here we go. Ready? We're getting up. All right, we're up. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about this car. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to have it in here. Hey, do you guys know what this is? So front corner, see that right there? Is that like where a transponder would mount or something? That's the only thing that I can think of. What is that? Let me know if you know. But let me know what your thoughts on this car is, guys. It's a really cool car. I'm excited to have it in the shop, and man, once we get these temps down a little bit, I'll probably start stripping the decals off this thing, start cleaning it up, and turning it into something a little different. I'm still gonna do, so my plan is, I wanna keep some of the history. It's not gonna be a Mark Stahl car anymore. I am gonna change that. But I'm still gonna try and keep some of his history with it. And I'll let you guys try and figure out what that is gonna be. But I am gonna change this. I am gonna repaint it into something else. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys can figure out what I'm thinking on this. Also, if you have any of these laying around, I know that these are easily made, but if you have any laying around, I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you guys have any of those laying around, let me know. I'd much rather just get some than make some. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. That would really help me out. We're trying to build this channel and bring you better and better content, which I'm really excited for this winter because I've already got about 6 or 7 videos in my head. So we'll get working on it. But subscribe, share this stuff with your friends. Let's build this channel. And thanks for coming along. Thanks for checking out this car with me. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.